The cake is a lie. That was my I've started recording flex noise. Because
That's a good flex.
yeah, it felt like I was working out as I said it.
Okay, so when we last left off, uh, y'all had met. Y'all had a quick
Jailbird.
recap, I guess. You talked to Sylvana about why she was doing what she was doing. She talked about her experiences. You revealed that Vigor, the man who saved her life, was actually alive, even though she thought she saw him die in front of her, and resolved to take her to Terrebonne to see it for herself. Along the way, you are going to stop by and investigate happenings in nearby Loose Branch, where, because Aegis went to the Inspector Keys of Custer to inquire further about the Dr. Gamble situation, and he decided to give you a chance to prove yourselves that you can help out with this investigation by investigating a lead that they didn't have the resources to go look at, which was the noted strange changes in the thieving population of Loose Branch, where they have stopped their usual sneaky thief activities and have instead taken to mauling and killing people. And they seem to, and also people who have survived have noted that they seem to have odd physical changes, which you are going to investigate. So you left for there with Sylvana, and along the way, you came across a bird person. Her name is Jailbird, and she decided to. She has mechanical appendages to act as arms because she does not naturally have opposable thumbs. And she talked about knowing the lay of the land as far as the sort of criminal underbelly of Terrebonne and the Scrap Heap and Loose Branch, that whole tri-criminal area goes.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to come along with you and see what was going on. And that was where we left off. So, you're at the cusp of Deadwater, the desolate bog. The Bronze Plains are as you advance forward, are turning more and more dead. The grass, going away. It's getting wetter. You're approaching the bog proper. What would you like to do? Anything?
So, is there any special considerations about traveling Deadwater that I should be aware of? Because we're pulling a cart as well. Might be tricky.
Right. So, the cart and the horse should be able to travel Deadwater just fine, as long as you're aware that there could be some dangers in terms of maybe at some point the bog might get a little deep, at which point you'll have to look out for those and avoid those spots. But otherwise, you should be able to advance through Deadwater mostly fine.
Right. Okay,
Might be wise for Axe to scout ahead then. Because he's the heaviest.
That is a good point. Yeah.
If anyone's going to start sinking and be like, "Oh, this is deep," it would be him. He would most closely approximate the weight of a horse.
We don't want to get rid of
Axe.
We don't want to get rid of Axe because if you start sinking, we're gonna have to go through you. So it's a problem no matter what.
Wait, through me? What?
Yeah. We can't just, you're sinking, I guess we'll have to go around. Feels like
No,
just get him to like act like spread out, because that's how you float in quicksand. You like just float on your back, and then we can just
Axe is actually
drive
tall
the
enough.
cart over him, like putting your coat down.
Anyway, yeah, no,
that's a good point. Yeah,
Axe can scout ahead. Yeah, he can scout. We're dead water. Oh, we were the X's actually.
No. You're on the cusp of the bog, and
okay. What was the X then?
You're around here, roughly. And now keep in mind that this jailbird. That's the general. This is the general area where all the sightings of the strange changed thieves and all the maulings have been the most concentrated. But jailbird told you that she is aware of a little holdout, a small holdout nearby Loose Branch of some thieves who are still operating as their normal selves. They were kind of driven out of Loose Branch proper, but they've taken up a shop in a small makeshift temporary holdout somewhat to like the north, so like slightly northeast of Loose Branch, and she's offered to take you there.
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, out of character, I'm like, hells yeah. In character, Azora's a bit suspicious of this person and any advice she suggests, but
thieves that were
not
kicked
enough
out
to
of
like
Thief
stop
Place.
us.
Do you trust those thieves more or less?
And Azora just sort of like shrugs. Might as well,
Yeah.
Being led into a trap is still better than blundering into one.
Is that what she says?
No, I mean, well, whispering, I imagine in a private conversation.
I also have to think that I don't think we want to leave our cart with a bunch of thieves.
And yeah, Azora like nods at that. I agree.
But we can start asking for directions to this group we're after.
Mm-hmm.
Get the lowdown on what's been going on.
So if you choose to just follow her directions and head right to the encampment of the thieves, you won't have to roll navigate.
Okay.
If you'd rather just go directly to try and inspect the area, you could do that as well.
Nah, let's go. Let's go to the thieves and see if we can get any trustworthy information.
Alrighty. Well then, someone just has to scout, and because you still have the quartermastery of Reyna from when you left Custer, I'd say. Since this is still basically in the middle of that.
It's time for that lad to scout.
So Axe, you're gonna scout?
Yep.
Alright.
What does the Axe roll again for the scouting?
Wisdom. It's wisdom.
Oh, yeah, actually, I just have a 0 in wisdom, so this is gonna be interesting.
Alrighty. So,
no, that was
go
sweet
look at
rolling
the
it.
handout and pick one from the list.
Yes, let me look at the handout.
I've got
Skip
so
ahead.
many goddamn characters at this point.
I actually wanted to send something beneficiary of the terrain.
Describe it.
So you discern a beneficial aspect of the terrain.
Well,
alright, what do you discern?
Well, Axe being heavy, he finds a path that actually holds up for him.
He what?
A path that like holds him up.
Okay,
like
so you
something
find
above the water,
basically
like
you
packed
find
earth.
like ground that's more stable, less so basically less like broken in by the water.
Yeah, basically if it holds up for Axe, it'll hold up for.
Alright,
No,
yeah.
but-
So Definitely, yeah. No risk of any
Yeah.
sort of pitfalls along your path. That's all right. So yeah, the going is very very smooth. Jailbird's directions are very precise. You're sort of led through a thicket of dead trees. There isn't much. There really isn't much in the way of life around here. The most you get are like there's a few crows around. As you head deeper through deeper into the grouping of dead trees, until eventually she motions for you all to stay where you are, because she's going to announce your presence so that you're not ambushed. And she whistles out a tune. And after a short pause, you hear a different tune whistled back from the distance, to which she whistles a different tune, and there's whistling back, and then she turns back to you and says, "All right, follow me," and she takes a turn to the let's say to the right, to into a sort of alcove grove of dead branches and dead trees.
All right.
All right.
As you follow her, you come across a sort of clearing. The water, the bog water, kind of comes up to your comes up to probably just below your ankles, and there's a lot of makeshift wooden cabins. There's a small fireplace, but there's a fireplace, a campfire, but it's not giving off any smoke. That some people are gathered around, and there are a few patrols of just various men and women walking around and sort of hushed, speaking to each other in hushed whispers, and by the fireplace at the center, there is a woman dressed, garbed in brown leathers, and with these sort of and with face paint on, who beckons you forward to come join her, talk to her. Jailbird informs you that is that she's sort of the de facto leader of the encampment.
Okay, yeah. Aegis walks over to the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zora follows Aegis.
Yep. She says, she looks at Jailbird and says, wasn't aware, and says, seems like an odd company to be traveling with. I thought you weren't doing gangs anymore. I thought you weren't doing gangs anymore, Jailbird. And Jailbird shrugs with a smile, and just says, they're not exactly a gang. They're just they're decent people, and they'd like to make life better for everyone here. So you should help them out. And she sort of puts an arm around her, bring her in for a little side hug.
I thought she didn't have hands. I thought she had.
She does have.
Oh yeah,
Or didn't have
wingspan.
wings. She has.
The wingspan still functions as an arm.
Yeah. You know
Yeah.
words though. I mean,
She's got both.
you know what I was
technically.
trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the leader just kind of grumbles and looks forward at you and just says, "So you're mercenaries?"
You put it a lot more honestly than she did. Yeah, we're mercenaries.
Right. What is she talking about when she says make life better for everyone here?
Been told about a group of people who've mutated, gone murderous. They're hanging out somewhere in Deadwater. We've been tasked with checking in on them, I suppose, is the least of what we've been asked to do.
Mutated is one word for it. I'd say I think they've just gone fucking crazy. I think they've just gone fucking crazy.
I know that a lot of thieves hang out in the Deadwater because it's a good place to hide, but now it seems like you're, well, hiding from the people in Deadwater itself.
Understand, we've never been. There's always a sort of unspoken code of conduct here. We tend to. We're just people trying to survive like anyone else in the country.
And I have no quarrel with that. I didn't come here to disrupt the way things are meant to be.
Yes, so if you're here to take care of the people who suddenly decided to be marauding maulers, well then,
Mauler.
I'd be happy. Well, I'd certainly be happy to see them gone.
Oh no, we're gonna have 12-hour analysis of our party, aren't we?
Well, I won't make any promises, but if they get violent with us, if they cite us, we're definitely going to respond in kind. Though the more I hear, the more it seems better to just clean the problem up.
Oh yeah, don't hold back on my account. I mean, I knew a few of them before they went fucking crazy, but as far as I'm concerned, they've more than earned a goddamn death sentence.
You knew a few of them. How did they turn gradually, or was it an all at once thing? What happened to them?
It started with a few of them being a little more trigger happy than usual. They, from what I understand, some of them had one of the gangs in Loose Branch had decided to go and organize a little meetup with one of the larger gangs in the greater area, instead of keeping to our little thieving operation here. And they wanted to go for bigger and better things. We told them that they just weren't built. We told them they weren't fucking built for that. And they came back pretty goddamn annoyed and upset, and I assume that they were promptly told to fuck off like I expected them to be, because they're fucking petty thieves, not mafiosi. And then they just started lashing out. Started with the muggings getting a little bit more violent. The casualties kept going up. Sometimes they wouldn't even bring back gold. They'd just come back angry and covered in blood. And then that attitude and temperament started spreading more and more throughout the village. People just started going fucking insane. And, well, that's when I took a bunch of people who... That's when me and the rest of the sane people decided to just take leave from Loose Branch and try to hide out somewhere else until whatever the fuck their deal was blew over. From what I've heard, they kept getting worse.
Seems like something.
Zora does sort of like eye axe, during a lot of that description.
Yeah. if it's infectious, I think Axe is of a different sort, but
Yeah.
we haven't been getting angrier. Well, you have, but because of Axe, not,
Right.
Aegis has been okay. Everyone else seems to be, like, relatively still chill.
Yeah, Nasura hasn't gotten angry at all. Corum hasn't. He's been around for a while.
So this spread through Loose Branch.
Yeah, after those first few people came back from their attempted arrangement, temperament and the attitude spread. I don't know what it was. Maybe mass hysteria. God, I'm not a doctor.
And these people have since moved on to a new encampment, or they're still in Loose Branch. They've just taken it.
From what I know, they're just still around the area, just sort of making it a hotbed for violent activity.
How many would you say there are? Best you know.
Best I know, well, last time we took count of the population of Loose Branch, it was about, it was somewhere in the 60s, and this encampment has about 20 people. Could be as many as 40.
That's not great odds. Not if we.
Yeah.
Not if we.
Frankly, if we went out and tried to deal with it ourselves, we've talked about it, but frankly, we wouldn't stand a chance. They're fucking crazy, and they don't give a shit about their own lives anymore. Clearly, we can't. 12 of us against 40 of that. God no.
Well, you didn't have me. No.
I don't think we can. I've got a move that I could make them, or I could ask them to act, but I don't really want to do that. The moment after I got that move, I realized I didn't like that move, because it's basically, most of the time, most of the people you command are gonna die, so I decided not to use it.
Ouch.
Yeah, no, it was like, I didn't really weigh up the fact that it's like, one of the it's one of those, choose one of 3, like, benefits, and one of the options, like, it's, they do their job well, they do their job quickly, a lot of them don't die. It's like,
Yeah.
So basically, if they do well, they die doing it most of the time. If I roll,
Well,
like, middle of the line.
the wording like that, like, we've always kind of, like, there's always been that general idea that way, if that's, 3 options, we're just kind of left to assume that picking one option means the other 2 definitely happen, but it's not really the case. Like,
Yeah.
it's more, it's like a saw.
It's like you don't attract unwanted attention.
Yeah,
I think we tend to interpret that as you will attract attention no matter what, but that's more like, if you're trying to avoid attention, there needs to be unwanted attention to attract.
It's more to inform my response.
Yeah.
Than anything else.
But here's the move. We could maybe ask, hey, like, if we're gonna go in there and we go to war with this place, you 12 don't have to put yourself in a line of fire, but you could back us up, or, like, fight or harass the enemy. Harassing the enemy would be fucking useful. Yeah, Aegis is weighing up, and just 40 people's not easy. But I agreed to do a job, so we're definitely gonna have a look. But yeah, it seems like one of those things that's probably better dealt with now before it gets any more out of hand.
Now, keep in mind, Keys asked you, not just to... He asked you to look into the problem.
The wording there is vague, because I took that as see what's going on, but it could be...
Yes, see what's going on, and see if you can determine a connection to Gamble. He didn't actually mention that you have to actually kill...
I know that. I'm aware of that fact. He never said have to deal with it, but this is like Aegis' own thing, is this is probably better if we step in. But, this job that they agreed to go on, do you know anything about that? Before they...
What? the connection they wanted to go seek out.
Yeah.
They were tight-lipped about it, but they seemed oddly excited. So I get the feel. So we knew that they knew that they had aspirations of being big, of being more important than they actually were. So when we knew that they admired some of the bigger gangs of the country, so we figured they were going off to see one of the syndicates out there, and got promptly turned away when they realized that they weren't up to snuff and started taking that anger out on everything else.
That may or may not be related. If there's anyone on the gang who's went along to that thing and went along to that meet and still has their right mind about them, that would be they'd be valuable. We were sent here by someone in Custer. They had a job. They wanted us to look into these incidents. It's connected. It may be connected to something a lot bigger. These people.
She raises an eyebrow and sort of scrunches up her face. The hell would Custer have any interest here? They're miles away.
It's an issue that may be
well involved.
Yeah, might be Emberwell involved, might be Tarrant involved.
Emberwell, Tarrant, they're even further away. What interest would they have here?
I don't think it's so much the fact they're here. I think that
disposable bodies, and it's not just here. Things like this have happened, or somewhat similar to this have happened in other places. That's more or less what we were asked to find out, see if it's connected to a larger pattern.
The way I'm currently thinking about it is these people have become something of a test bed for something bigger. They just make a bunch of people crazy. They go back to Deadwater, and well, the people who they'd end up killing won't really bother the people who are in charge of whatever's going on.
God, are you saying this is some political shit with the war?
Possibly.
Ugh. God, here I thought that our little thieving town might actually be one of the few places to benefit from that fucking mess.
No.
Of course we get dragged into one of their fucking aftermaths.
It's how things like this tend to act. It just spreads, cascading out.
You can't really keep your head down completely when these things happen. Sooner or later, it'll affect everybody. So, yeah, that's not for definite. That's just my thinking. The man in Custer who gave me this job probably only cares about it affecting Custer, but as it stands, it affects you.
You hear a voice from the wagon. Could be the war, could be karma, and Silavana is sitting atop the wagon.
Karma.
Catches, the glare from the leader saying, and what was that little snot? It's like, you have a whole town founded on just stealing shit? Stealing shit? Maybe, you think accelerating to just straight up brutality isn't just a natural evolution?
Oh dear. Aegis is like got his head in his head, like one hand on his head, like, oh dear.
Azora actually walks over to her and, just sort of says something that if you stay in this line of work is important to learn: the difference between cowards and monsters.
Yeah, she just sort of looks at you with a bit of, just sort of frustration in her eyes. And just says, are we really going to be helping criminals?
If we don't help them, it might start affecting innocent people. Besides anything else, not all criminals are created equal.
These are a bunch of low-rent thieves who are, can't cut it in an actual city and hiding out here in the middle of nowhere where no one's going to chase them. If they're acting like this, something out of the normal has happened, and something bad that could cause a lot of problems for other people.
Yeah, she slinks back into the wagon and just sort of sighs and just says, "Whatever."
Sorry about that. Someone we're escorting through Deadwater. She's had a rough time of it.
Looks young.
Yeah.
And you brought her here?
Yeah.
Do-gooders, huh, Jailbird? And Jailbird just kind of shrugs.
Azora does sort of looking back over her shoulder, to talk to him. I'd be careful the words you say around here. And, thumbing over her shoulder back to Silvana. This one could kill you if she gets the wrong idea about you. Don't underestimate her.
She's a kid, but she's not exactly an ordinary kid. She's... Yeah, she's dangerous.
Yeah, the leader just frustratedly exhales and sits back down, in front, next to the fire, and just says, "Yeah, whatever."
Look, I don't look down on your profession quite as much as my comrades, but I'm passing through here and I see something that's probably better solved now than later. Now, we're capable, but us against 40, if it's all of them anyway, that's not great odds. So, you want the problem dealt with, you're gonna need to help me.
What are you asking me to do?
How many able-bodied people you got? You said 12?
No, we've got 20 here.
Yeah, you flipped between 20 and 12. You said 12 on one thing, 20 on another, but okay.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
I meant 20.
Yeah. I figured when you said 20, that's how many they got, and when she said 12, that's how many she meant were able in some way, but...
Yeah. We'll go with that. She's got 20 in the encampment, but about 12 of them are,
capable
still,
of...
doing... still trying to do, active work.
Yeah. They're angered, they're violent, they're probably more dangerous if they're being warped in some fashion, so I'm not going to ask you to go toe-to-toe with overwhelming odds like that. We can handle the front line work, but, if you lot can run distractions, set traps, we're not familiar with Deadwater in the same way you are. We're flying blind here. Less so with Jailbird, but,
Right. Well, charisma.
I'm gonna get 7 to 9, and they're gonna ask for something big. No, never mind, I'll do worse than that. Can someone please help? Please.
Yeah,
What in
Azora will just sort of walk up and say, look, I know there's not many of us, but trust me when I say we can handle a lot more than we look like we can dish out. I can handle a lot more than you think I would be able to.
Alright, roll your aid.
Yeah.
Aegis was crashing and burning.
Oh, now I'm roped into this now.
Yeah.
Oh no.
She looks around and she just says, "We do need to get things back to normal." And turns to Aegis. "Can we make a deal then?"
Let me hear your terms.
Yeah, she walks up to you and just says, "We help you out with this, but when we're done, we set back up in Loose Branch, and we go back to what we were doing and we go back to our ways, and you leave us alone. And how about you, mercenary group, just stay out of our way once we do?
I did say when I first walked in here I had no intention of changing the place. I was passing through.
Alright. You don't take any more jobs in Dead. You don't take any jobs leading you to Deadwater after this.
Yeah, Aegis sticks out his hand. Sure.
Yeah. She curls her lips up into a bit of a smile and takes your hand and shakes it.
Honestly, I thought he was going
Alright.
to ask for all the goods on my wagon, so quite happy with that.
Come up with a plan. Well, then come up with the plan.
Well, gonna need about a day for that.
Alright. Yeah, and she looks at Axe and just says, "What's that one's deal?"
He's big, he's angry, and he's probably a victim of the same people as those in Loose Branch.
Hello.
What's your name?
Axe.
Just Axe?
Axe.
Oh, here's another
Alright.
move I have. Here's another move I have that I'm gonna do some stuff for, because I'm a big genius man, and I've got genius ideas. So, I'm gonna equip them with basic weaponry, as in, I'm gonna fashion some gat-dang spears.
Oh.
I am going to spend at least a day teaching them. And I
With
probably...
your impressive carpentry.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be clever as hell.
I feel I have to be impressed.
Like, Aegis is gonna start whittling spears, and he's gonna spend a day drilling them, teaching them, and obviously, with that plan, like, Aegis kind of sets about, like, crafting the spears, trying to get some, like, stuff together so they can draw up a map of Loose Branch and the surrounding area. Maybe have someone kind of, like, try and scout it out, see if they made any adjustments to the place. You know, we're gonna spend some time planning this out. Let's try and minimize casualties on this.
Right.
Planning?
You
don't have to be involved, it's fine.
You don't have to pay attention, Axe.
Oh, you're gonna plan around the fact that Axe isn't gonna plan.
Yeah, no, I very much make it clear as like, look, there's a big blind spot in this plan, and that's him. When he starts fighting, just stay well clear of him and let him do his thing. If you're nearby, it doesn't matter if you're friend or foe, you're probably going to get hurt. So...
Wait a minute, Axe hasn't fucking attacked the ally yet.
You blew up the reactor with all of us near it.
Okay,
And you specifically tackled Azora.
Yeah, you have literally attacked me. You didn't just blow up the generator with me near it. You tackled the generator using the medium of my body.
Hey, no,
And
I
the
was
guy
tackling the other guy.
Besides, why are you complaining? Why are you complaining, Axe? I'm giving you room to work.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up, if it hadn't been for Lotus, you would have killed Aegis. And possibly Nostria.
I might have survived. I probably wouldn't have, but that's besides the point.
You would have been on a death roll.
Oh, yeah.
Last breath.
Yeah, and my luck, I don't want to hit a death roll because my luck is fucking abysmal. So, you know.
I've rolled last breath on Murray, I think.
Did you? I don't remember, like, a Murray I know I died as fucking...
I didn't. I passed, but I think I got a 10 plus on a last breath on Murray. At one point.
Anyway, just to... Oh, no, you're thinking of when a Coxiator got you to 0 HP, but it was a non-lethal fight.
Oh, maybe.
But I should just say right now, the bandit leader's name is Blake.
Blake. It's a good
Yeah,
bandit leader
Blake.
name.
Blake.
Blake's the bandit leader. Blake's group. Blake's encampment.
Blake the bandit.
Yes.
So wait, Blake is the enemy bandit leader or the leader of this camp?
The leader of this camp.
Okay, right.
Yeah, she's the leader of this camp.
Okay. So yeah, Aegis like fashions them all up spears and like mostly javelins actually, because we're not using them as really frontline fighters. We're gonna use them to harass. So any weaponry that we can throw together is good for this. Mostly long-range stuff, like I'm giving them javelins. Maybe a few spears, but mostly I'm gonna keep them at long range, you know? I'm not asking them to be frontline fighters, that's us. These guys are gonna harass and probably... Yeah, my plan is that to basically dismantle the town, remove their defenses, and just hit them really hard all at once, essentially.
Right.
So Azora goes in, Axe goes in, maybe Lotus, and I'm not sure if I want to send Sylvana in, even though I'm pretty sure she is probably our best NPC fighter alongside Lotus. But
I feel like Nostria should stay fairly far back with the people who are, you know, the other bandit people.
Yeah, definitely. She's not a frontline fighter.
She is the mage.
Jailbird, I don't know, but I imagine being a bird and thus hollow-boned, probably not a strong frontline fighter. I could be wrong. We will.
Could be. You just could be bird racist.
Is saying birds have hollow bones just racists?
Well, I mean, you can look at her stats.
You can look at her bones.
Like, you know, it's available to you, her sheet.
Quality 2, loyalty 1. Frills. Frills, exciting situations. I think that's going to be paid off with raiding Loose Branch. Eye of the Magpie. Good name. When she sees a gathering of assorted objects, Jailbird can instantly pick up on what the valuables are amongst the pile. She can roll plus quality to appraise objects. That's a good move.
Nah.
Do they have to be assorted beforehand? Do I have to, like, take an object I think might be valuable and throw it in a pile, and then she can determine that's valuable? Set against these other things.
I am very proud of the name Eye of the Magpie.
It's good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what we'll do... So, yeah. The part of the plan is Reyna probably not coming along to this, or if she is, she's in the back lines. I know she is a fighter. I know she has, like, fucking moves for fighting that's throwing stuff, but they're throwing stuff moves, so put her with the back line. She can support skirmishing. We'll have these lot chucking spears, keeping at distance, and maybe a few breaking off to run sabotage on the town, but generally the plan is we want to do a big fucking ambush on them, get as close as possible, and kill as many before combat even really starts, you know?
Yeah.
Shock and awe tactics, this. Aegis will probably be in the front line. Probably like the buffer zone between Axe and Azora and everyone else. Brother Lotus. Yeah, Axe, Azora, Brother Lotus. Do we want to bring Sylvana to the front lines? Because I think that's kind of fucked up.
That would be kind of fucked up. Also, I'll be right back, and you have to just attend to my clothing.
Okay.
My dish, not dish.
Well, anyway, what did you say, Neo?
Sylvana would want to be in the front lines. Like when you're planning, she voices her want to be out there.
I kind of look at Azora because I know Azora was like guard from childhood, but Aegis is a lot less comfortable with this arrangement.
I mean, Azora's not super comfortable with this either, and it's sort of weighing on her. She's sort of thinking it over. Because, yeah, on one hand, she's 15. Azora became a full-fledged guard at 16. You know, she was, like, fighting in proper combat by about her age. And, like... On one hand, she, like, doesn't, you know, she kind of wants Sylvana to, like, be able to not go down this road and not go down this life, but at the same time, like, Azora doesn't really feel it's her place to stop her, but it's also, like, or just like tell her, no, you're not allowed in this fight, you know? I think that's generally going to be Azora's stance on it. She doesn't really want her to, but she also doesn't. She's not going to like just hardline stop her, you know.
Sylvana points at Axe and says, "You saw what I could do. Tell him."
Well, you said that to Sweet, who said, "I'm going away."
Yeah.
Wait, did he? Wait, what?
Yeah, he said he was going to tend to a dish or cloves or not dish.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
really
that's what he's
confusing. It was
fucking.
It
All
was
right, well,
very
you know,
confusing.
Axe says.
Axe says,
Axe says,
I
yes.
agree.
I knew Axe was an NPC this whole time.
Oh. So, Azora, question. You, are you going to take this opportunity to do, Always Ready?
Yes, but I'm waiting for Axe to be back. Though
okay.
the thing is, because that I lose that at the end of the day. I would need to train again tomorrow morning to actually get the bonus. But I am waiting for Axe to be here. I don't yet have the move where I can train with other people, but just narratively, we're at the point where I want to start training with Axe.
Gotcha. All right.
Even if it offers him no mechanical benefit.
Yeah.
It will in time.
So, Aegis, Jailbird comes up to you and says, "So, you were hired to come take care of this by Custer, then?"
Not so much Custer itself, but by a man in Custer. I don't know how much
he
the
ask
city
you
he
to-
speaks for.
Did he ask you to take care of it, or to just investigate?
It was more an investigation thing. This is just something I feel like doing, I suppose. And we might be able to get more information. That is actually a thing Aegis points out in the plan, is if any of them do surrender, you are to basically respect that, because they might have information pertinent to us. Like, if anyone stands down and we can confirm that they were in that group, that's very useful.
Right. So she leans in and says, "You know, since we're taking on Loose Branch, they might have left a few things behind when they escaped, and I don't think they exactly took inventory. If we come across anything, what's the procedure on that, boss?"
On the one hand, it's all stolen anyway. On the other, I don't know what's a personal belonging or what's stolen from someone else. It's hard to say, but I think we'll take it. I think we'll, at the very least, work out a cut so that we can support ourselves.
Smart. And she looks around and just says, "Yeah, Loose Branch, always been the odd one out in the broader underworld of Hemlock."
I'm gonna be honest, rude as it may sound, it just seemed like it wasn't worth dealing with a lot of the time. Unless you're waiting around here and just stealing from anyone who wants to pass through, what's the need to come here?
Well, you know, towards the start of the war, this place was actually benefiting rather well. After all, Terrebonne was one of the go-to refugee spots, and well, people getting there were prime targets for robbery.
I have
So,
a turn, by the way.
makes me interested that that some people decided to go and try join a different crime syndicate at a time where it couldn't have been better to be part of Loose Branch. I mean, you had so much traffic going to Terrebonne that they could prey on. Yet they decided to try and meet up with what? Bright? The Putrid Legion? What were they after?
Maybe better opportunities were going on in the Bronze Plains or elsewhere. Maybe they think they could. Maybe they thought they could strike it big while the iron was hot, and while the guard and lawmen were too preoccupied with the war. Or maybe there's something much deeper going on. Maybe they were enticed out there.
Interesting. Yeah, it's something that's pretty interesting, I feel. Anyway, if we're going to work to restore their little status quo, they'll probably go back to preying on people trying to escape to Terrebonne, right?
Yeah, and I'm not happy about that, but we kind of need that aid to get through this fight. And you're saying this like you've got something to suggest.
I'm just interested if you fully intend on being good on your word there.
I'm a man of my word. As far letting a few petty criminals survive isn't the worst thing I've done.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And yeah, she seems satisfied with that, and walks off.
Yeah, no,
So,
I think Aegis, even though it's like, I know in the move, friendly is one of the words, but even Aegis in character is very, very suspicious of Jailbird right now. Swede
That
got
would be
back, by the way.
fucked up if if the Zora ends up killing Jailbird. That would be fucked.
I don't think Jailbird will really climb that high up the power ranking. She seems just more like an instigator right now than a...
Instigators can be dangerous.
I guess. But it seems more like a petty...
O'Malley was a petty instigator, and look at what he caused.
Anything all that bad. The air outside is really nice at the moment.
O'Malley was a petty instigator, and look what he caused.
He was anything but petty. Well, he was petty, and he was an instigator, but he wasn't a petty instigator. He was a Machiavellian instigator. He was a gargantuan instigator.
Instigator.
Who also happened to be petty. I'm hoping Jailbird isn't... like, oh my god, then she'd be like a flying rat if she was a bird O'Malley.
That's Nasrea, the flying rat.
No, flying rats are pigeons, though, and she's a blue jay.
Oh, see, I was like,
Or
rodents.
Oh.
Which bats aren't technically rodents, but...
Well, I've always associated the term flying rats with pigeons, not like, literally flying rodentia. Yeah. Speaking of that, sugar gliders are really ugly, and I don't get why people find them cute. But that's besides the point.
That's an odd take.
They are really ugly, though, and just speaking of, like, flying rodents just reminded me of sugar gliders.
I don't know why you find them ugly.
Well, I also know they can't be house-trained and they piss everywhere, so...
Yeah.
They fucking stink. But they are ugly, like, look at them! They are fucking... They look like a shitpost image with the eyes blown out. Like, look at that. It's fucking absurdly ugly.
Baby.
And there's Swede's insightful take.
How about flying squirrels? What's your take on flying squirrels?
Well, I just want to say, those weirdly human-ish hands.
I like them-ish. Not a lot, though. They're okay.
But better than sugar gliders.
Yeah, sugar glider is, like, a disturbing, fucked up mess of a creature.
Why are they called sugar glider?
I don't know.
One time, a flying squirrel got into my bedroom. This is when I was really little. I was in New Hampshire, but my mom and I was with my mom in the bedroom at the farm in New Hampshire, and a fucking flying squirrel got into our room in the middle of the night.
Anyway, sorry about that. Just, it came into my brain. But yeah. So we got a plan. I've given them weapons, I hope. Actually, are there any requirements for me, like crafting the javelins, the spears? Okay.
You got time, so no.
Since Axe is back though.
Yes,
training.
Sweet.
Nah.
Sylvana, at one point points to Axe and says, he's seen what I can do. He's seen me in action.
She wants to join the front line of the fight. Aegis and Azora are uncomfortable about that idea.
Aegis more so than Azora. Like, not that Azora is uncomfortable, but Aegis I feel I would characterize as, like, outright opposed to it, whereas Azora is conflicted.
Well, she was good. She did do good, but she more surprise fighter, you know? Maybe not frontline.
I like the thing is, Aegis doesn't want her in the fight, and Axe's thing is maybe not on the front lines, though. If you have a child soldier but they're a sniper, then it's okay.
Hey, Axe.
I mean, that seems like pretty solid logic to me.
Remember, Axe, you did see her get right in front of drop kick someone, and then the person next to her had a shotgun, and she just grabbed the shotgun before it could be fired, ripped it out of the hand, and broke it over the dude's head, so...
Well, she was pretty cool.
I'm not denying that Sylvana is a good fighter. I'm just not comfortable.
I'm not denying that this child soldier is cool.
I'm not denying that she is fucking rad at killing people, but that's not the issue here. I'm not denying that she's capable. I'm saying that I'm not comfortable putting a 15-year-old in the line of fire.
Well, Axe isn't the best at 40 on this.
Azora sort of sighs and, walks over to Sylvan. Where is Nostria right now, actually?
Nostria is sort of like just staying in the wagon. Sort of, she's not very comfortable, like walking amongst the.
I did ask her best she could to throw together stuff for the fight tomorrow, whether that be like ointments, potions, like stuff to just aid the front line. So
yeah, she's unsure about that. But actually, before I guess Azora, you wanted to have a scene with her though.
Not necessarily, or just a scene involving her where she's like adjacent. But Azora was gonna like sort of guide Sylvana to
I'm gonna mute my
like a place where we're out of earshot of Nostria, but like enough that we can see Nostria. But out of Nostria's earshot.
Okay, yeah. So you'd have sight of her like in the wagon.
Yeah. So Azora's
probably just sitting down with Reyna.
Yeah.
Oh no, she's gonna say something awful about her. She's one of the good vampires.
Azora sort of like pops a squat, crouches down, and talks to Sylvana. And I know Axe saw you fight, but I really haven't seen much of you in action. And I want you to be honest with me, how confident are you in your ability to handle yourself in a fight?
I'd say I'm pretty damn confident.
Do you think you could beat me?
She looks you up and down and says, one-on-one like this? No way.
And Azora sort of like nods, Good. Well, that means, gives me, some reassurance at least. And then, so Azora points at Nostria. Nostria, I don't know if you've talked to her much.